to Get Your Bell. Welcome to Get Your Bell Rung Pro Wrestling Podcast. Man, I still have the ring your damn bell thing in the back of my fucking head still. So I thought I was about to say that, but apparently I didn't. So
you're gonna screw me up one of these days, and I'm gonna say it.
yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those days, man. I just got off of a great interview with Rory Gonzalez, but I'm tired. My back's still killing me, so I'm not exactly all here, if you will.
Better take some more doobie.
I need to actually. I really do. So we are actually discussing last night's Dynamite, and I have to tell you that I thought it was a pretty good show.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't enjoy them overlapping into the next show, but I've learned to overcome that.
Right. Was so Collision's back to on Saturday night, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They only went to Thursday because of SummerSlam last week. They weren't going to compete against it because it had six people watching it.
Pretty much.
So,
yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So we start with MJF. He's got a CMLL belt. What's that about? I didn't catch anything on that.
I really meant to look that up before we did tonight's podcast. But I completely forgot about it.
That's right.
That's part of the problem though with AEW. It's fine that if you won the CML belt, but nothing was said about it.
Right. But Monet gets, an itch on her butt and it's all over the media.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't see anything on the internet. Granted I don't do much internet, but I didn't see anything on the internet all week long. Then last night I seen him with the belt. And hold on a second.
So apparently MJF recently became the CMLL World Light Heavyweight Championship by defeating Arvino or Averno, fucking pronounce that, Arvino, at CML on August 1st, 2025. And guys, before you jump all over me for not being able to pronounce his name, I'm sorry, although I am a wrestling fan. I have enough to follow. I don't always follow every single promotion. CMLL isn't something that I follow a whole lot, to be honest with you.
So it's a light heavyweight?
Yeah.
I would think that'd be an insult to MGF.
Hey, a belt's a belt, I guess.
Yeah, well, a paycheck's a paycheck.
Yeah.
Whether they're paying them pesos or USD.
I mean, whatever. Buy them Taco Bell.
Right. So anyways, he's dogging Mark Briscoe, brings up Jay Briscoe. I understand getting heated once or twice, but now it's just getting old.
Yes.
Leave Jay alone.
What made me laugh is when he called him white trash, you got lucky. that was funny.
He really portrays that there's legitimate heat between them two.
I tell you, they are playing it up really well. They are.
Yeah, they are. It's probably one of the best verbal jaunts I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the early '80s, interviews.
Right.
Because they'd say anything. They didn't give a shit, other than swearing.
Right. Right. Now I tell you, and we'll get to it. I was disappointed in the outcome of the main event, but again, we'll get there.
It was a good match, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just really wanted Briscoe to win because I and I say this all the time. I want to see something different. I really do. Instead of the same people basically going for the belt.
Yeah, but the biggest thing for me is what are they going to do with Mark after this? I mean, are they going to continue the push, or since he lost to MGF, is he going to go on the back burner and be comic relief? Because Tony Schiavone says he's very popular, and he is. And I've never been a Briscoe fan, either Jay or Mark. But I'm enjoying this. And mainly because and I kind of I don't want to say he deserves it, but he's earned it.
Right.
You know, I really hate the term, oh, you deserve it. No, you've earned it. You know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, next we go to Speedball versus Mox, and I don't really understand why this
Hey,
took place.
Krista. My wife hates being on camera. She went and grabbed me some food. She brought me
Oh
some
yeah,
food.
so she's not going to do OnlyFans, huh? Damn it!
No. Let me say this. This is one reason why I wanted Briscoe to win because of exactly what you said. What are they going to do with Briscoe after this? I really hate to see him go way back down the card and be just comic relief at this point.
Right, right. So, anyways, next we go to Mox versus Speedball, and again, I don't understand why, but apparently Mox won the match and Speedball volunteered,
Yeah.
and he's 177 pounds. That ain't much muscle mass.
Well, I tell you, I am not a Mike Bailey fan whatsoever, but I always give the devil its due. And this was a look. John Moxley's matches aren't always great. Let's just put it out there, right?
Yep, yep.
Uh, this was a damn good match, and I have to attribute that to Speedball Mike Bailey. I mean, he is a terrific athlete. He could go in the ring. There's just a disconnect between him and I, where he's not my cup of tea. But holy shit, this was a good match, and
Yeah, actually, it was.
I have to again attribute that to Speedball Mike Bailey because we didn't. John Moxley wasn't doing anything new. That's for damn sure.
Right, right, right. No, Speedball is very innovative, I think,
Right,
and the fact that his partner took off his shirt and stood up to Mox nose to nose, I kind of like that. You
right.
know, again, not a fan of his partner either, but again, hell of a talent. You know, the kid's young and he's a hell of a talent.
Yep.
Mina Shavira must have been watching Cobra Kai or Karate Kid because she swept the leg. uh, the backflip onto Mox's back while on the
Oh my God.
crowd divider. That is crazy.
I was like, and you know what? Props to John Moxley for taking that fucking bump because
Right, right, right.
there's look, I don't care how much you prepare for a spot like that. There is no way of hitting that without hurting Moxley. I mean, that just looked like a brutal fucking move. And I was like, oh, I mean, I literally was like, oh, that looked just
Right.
nasty.
I mean, that divider can only be what 6 inches across.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, granted, it's more than a metal railing, but still, it can't be much more.
right.
And the fact that he pulled that off, I was like, holy shit, I was impressed. You know, and that's what I'm talking about. He's an innovator.
Yep,
So, because I don't think I've seen anybody do that before, to be honest.
right,
You know,
right.
I've seen a lot of people use the divider as the standoff or whatever to lift off or whatnot, but I've never seen anybody do a backflip onto somebody. And if
Yep.
somebody's done it, well, I missed it.
Yeah, yeah. Now I tell you, like my issue, not really issue, but I feel like the ending made Speedball look weak, and I tell you why. Moxley finished the match with he calls it the Death Rider, which is basically a DDT, right? Now, how many recent opponents we've seen of Moxley where they actually kicked out of that finish?
Oh,
Whereas,
God, Paige must have done it 3 times.
right, whereas Speedball, one and done.
It's because he's
And
got
this,
no muscle mass.
well, look, this is the problem I have with so many false finishes in a match. And I keep on saying that when you continuously do false finishes in a match like this, the next opponent who goes down with just that one finisher, it makes them look weak.
I'm sorry, were you done talking?
Yeah, I'm done talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. During the match, Darby Allin comes out and kidnaps Yuta or Wheeler Yuta. Um,
Yeah, I used that chloroform rag. You know, I guess breaking the law and using something like that, as long as you do it at work, it's okay.
I don't know.
It's just silly to me.
Well, if he didn't violate them, you know, what laws is he really breaking?
Oh, you know, I keep every time I see Darby Allin doing this shit, I keep on going back to the Sting storylines in WCW. Um, And I get that Sting was Darby's partner, his mentor, but come on, man, be original. Think out the box. I get that it's hard to be original in professional wrestling today, but at the same time, you don't have to be so blatant with the fact that you're stealing a storyline from 30 years ago. Um, Although, and I know you can probably like to mention this, how many fans today remember it from back then? I get it.
Yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say, 50% of their viewership is probably not even old enough to remember it or seen it.
Right.
So yeah. I'm glad you caught that before I got a chance to. But,
Yep.
anyways, next we go to an interview with Alex Windsor with Tony Storm, which apparently they've got some sort of alliance, I guess.
I guess I
Uh,
like it, man. I'm not gonna lie. They are funny together. I
yeah,
respect it.
it was great because she got Windsor to do the innuendos, and Windsor even
Right.
caught herself like, "Oh my God, you got me doing it too," you
Right.
know. They end up with doing the tango off the interview or something.
Yeah.
Um, so next we go to Mox and Shaver find Yuta in the parking lot in a body bag, which I'm sure we've seen before too. But it was a white body bag versus a black body bag.
Right.
Um, Anyways, they open up the body bag, pull Yuta's head out, and tape down there is a challenge for Mox and Forbidden Door. Uh, and then Darby honking the horn and driving past him like he was going to hit him.
Right. Right. Man, I keep on waiting for Moxley to kick Yuta out just because he is their weak link.
Yeah, but you got to have a weak link in every
Yeah, I
group.
know.
You know,
But he
I
is
mean,
their whipping boy.
who was it for the Four Horsemen? Tony Roma.
Dude, look, I refuse to acknowledge that was
Action.
a four horseman back then. Okay,
Yeah,
it-
yeah, I know, but I had to throw it out there just for giggles. All right, so next we go to Renee interviewing Monet. Renee upsets Monet and she walks off. Monet with 8 belts now, including the Owen Hart Foundation belt, which I think is ridiculous. That belt weighs more than Monet does. Next, we go to a four-way women's eliminator match. Alex Windsor, Aminata, Sky Blue, and Billy Starks. I really, really do not like Billy Starks at all.
I don't, but this was a really good match.
Yeah, it was, but Billy Starks is just, I don't know, she reminds me of a happy face on a t-shirt, you know. And not that I have anything wrong with the happy face on a t-shirt, but, you know, it's corny. And she's corny.
Well, look, MJF was talking about white trash. They got lucky earlier. We talked about that, right? She fits that very picture.
To a T. To a T. I'm not going to discredit her. She's a young kid. She's doing what she wants to do as far as her career. I give her the props,
Right.
but she shows her age every time she comes out. You
Yep.
know, I get so sick of all these wrestlers sticking their tongues out, and it goes back 30 years because X Pac used to do it all the time, and they hated it then.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the only people I didn't mind were the Road Warriors. Why? Because they were big enough to get away with it.
Yeah. It really, every time I see them stick their tongue out, the first thing I think of is, aren't you an adult? Like, aren't you supposed to be an adult professional wrestler? Because people who stick their tongues out are fucking kids.
Right, right, right. you know. And maybe I'm just old and stodgy, but like I said, the Road Warriors got away with it because
Right.
they were probably one of the first ones to do it, to be honest, that I
Yep.
recall.
And you're
Uh,
right. You are old, but it doesn't change the fact that sticking their tongues out just looks terrible.
right,
Terrible.
right, right. No,
Sammy
I
Guevara,
just
Sammy Guevara looks the worst in my opinion when he does it. I want to rip his fucking tongue out every time he sticks it out.
yeah, I don't know. So let's see. Oh, Windsor wins that match. Athena came out with Billy Starks. Monet comes out and drops everybody pretty much. Tony Storm came in and she got dropped too, I believe.
Now, what I laughed at was when Mercedes Monet was taking off her belt, handing it to the ref. that poor ref, I can't remember her name. She had a hell of a time holding all of those belts. She had this look on her face like, why?
Right, right, right. So, let's see. Her and Athena go nose to nose, but it looks like they had more of a mutual respect.
Right, right.
Renee was busy last night, man. She was interviewing everybody. So next we go to Renee interviewing the Bucks. They want respect. They run into somebody backhand stage or whatnot. They want their fireworks. They want their names on the screen. You know, the whole 9 yards. You know. Uh,
You got to give mad respect to the Young Bucks for making fun of themselves the way
yep,
they
yep,
are.
yep. I am not a fan of the Bucks. I haven't been for years, if ever. But the way they're poking fun at themselves, you can't help but chuckle and laugh and enjoy it.
Right, right. Yeah, they yell at production basically saying, as you said, when they go out to the ring, they want their full entrance that they normally have.
Just do.
Right. Yep.
So, all right. So next we go to Don Callis, the group to the ring. Don is bragging about all the belts they got. Apparently, they had 3 belts. Okada's got 2, and Fletcher's got 1. But there's 3 belts on the table. Fletcher had his belt on, so I don't know what the 3rd belt is. I don't know. Callis like Heyman. He'll grab as many belts as he can and claim as much as he can.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
Callis is good. I like him, but he's no Paul Heyman.
No, but I tell you what, he is absolutely the guy as far as heel managers on AEW.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. Nobody can touch him.
No.
You know, and actually, to be honest, his development over the last 20 years has been pretty good.
Oh, I agree. I mean, he really didn't make it as far as being a professional wrestler, but he's good on the mic, and I think he found his niche, which is being that heel manager.
Right. Now
Yeah.
they just need to come up with a catchy nickname like I don't know, the Odyssey or whatever. What's Heyman being called right now?
Oh, the article.
Yeah, the Oracle, Odyssey Oracle. All right. They need a good catch name for Don Callis. You know. So, anyways, it ends up being a reveal of a painting for Kyle Fletcher. And I thought this was great. You know, it's a painting with Don Callis with the belt around his waist and Kyle Fletcher's secondary, kind of like holding the belt, kind of.
Yeah, the painting was funny, but this was my one of those small issue. We just seen this, and it was with Don Callis with Jericho. How he did his painting and presented to Jericho, blah blah blah. Again, it goes back to, and this didn't even happen 30 years ago. This just happened, maybe a year ago. It's come on, man, come up with something more original than the same shit.
Who was the mask guy in the ring with them? They had Archer and they had Fletcher and somebody else.
Yeah,
But it wasn't. Josh Allen or whatever his name is.
Yeah, give me a second and I'll tell you who it was. Maybe.
I thought the Max Man was going to be somebody that would challenge Fletcher for Saturday night.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead.
No,
Kyle Fletcher is going to be defending his title on Saturday night. I don't know against who. I like Fletcher. I really do. I think this belt doesn't do him justice. I think he needs Okada's belt to make it more legitimate.
Right.
But it's a nice stepping stone for Kyle Fletcher. And I see a lengthy run. He did mention that, Callis mentioned that he took out Dustin Rhodes. Dustin's actually having double knee surgery. So I imagine he'll come back for 1 or 2 more matches and he'll be done.
So the masked man was Hechicero.
Oh,
Hechicero.
Is that one of the guys he got in the trade with Jake the Snake about 8 months ago?
Maybe. He's been on AEW before.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next, we go to a recap of Edge and Stokely's interaction 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
Then we go to an interview with Edge about Christian, and then Edge and Stokely, their issues. Edge is going to have a match with Stokely next week, I believe.
Yep. Yep. And we know it's going to, FTR is going to interfere, and uh, he's going to, Edge is going to lose the match, is what I'm predicting.
Right, but if they interfere, the no contact clause goes out the door.
Right.
So,
Right. Yep.
all right. So next we go to Bandito and Brody, and they gave him a nickname.
Yep.
I can't
It
remember.
is Brodito.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second, wait.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it was those guys came out, Brodito against the Young Bucks, and this was one hell of a match. I actually really I enjoyed the match more so than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I'm actually starting to become a fan of Bandito. I'm not going to lie. And of course, I've always loved Brody King. The big shocker for me was the conclusion of the match. Bandito and Brody won the match.
He monkey flipped him onto him. He looked like he did a 450 spin.
Yep, yep. And you know what? I'm going to give props to color commentary last night because there was a couple of mistakes done by Bandito and Brody King. And color commentary caught that right away and explained this is what happens when you're not an experienced tag team together, right? And it fit. It made it make perfect sense. It really did. You know, these guys are new together. They're still trying to read each other. But they're doing well enough that they beat the Young Bucks.
Yeah. And then you got to give props to the Young Bucks entrance. They got the name wrong, and the pyro was like one bottle rocket or two bottle rockets. Yeah. And they got the name wrong. Nick and somebody else. I can't remember who it was.
Right.
But yeah, no, the entrance was awesome. I loved it.
Yep.
And no, I'm not a fan of the Bucks. I can take what they're given right now.
Now, you and your fucking phone. So,
Sorry.
look, when it comes to the Hurt Syndicate, one thing I bitched about was them putting them in matches against guys who, we couldn't imagine that these guys would ever beat the Hurt Syndicate, right? I really hope that at the end of this tournament, it's going to be Bandito and Brody King, because these two guys I could actually see beating the Hurt Syndicate. These two guys, this match between the Hurt Syndicate and Brody King and Bandito is going to be the first time since the Hurt Syndicate has won the belt that I'm going to question. I wonder if they're going to drop the titles.
Bandito, pound for pound, is probably one of the strongest guys. He's extremely strong for his size.
Well, it's almost a perfect matching because Bandito and Shelton Benjamin, I can see either one of those guys, getting the victory. Same thing with Brody King against
Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley. I can see Brody King beating Bobby Lashley. So I really hope that this is the match that we're going to get.
Speaking of which, there's been a lot of rumbling about Lashley and MVP.
Yeah, so people are saying that it's all bullshit, but look, I actually went and researched it, and I found more than one credible source, including Fightful Select, who's reporting on this, that MVP is bitching again that Bobby Lashley was reduced to just a tag team guy, right? Instead of this ultimate singles wrestler. And as I said, when I wrote this, MVP was saying that it was WWE that didn't treat them, blah, blah, blah. But now he said the same shit about AEW. Who's the actual problem? It seems like it might just be MVP. For him to even say that Bobby Lashley has been reduced to a tag team guy, he has the fucking belt. I mean,
Right.
come on.
Right.
So
He could be sitting at catering most nights.
right. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, it's out there that it's supposedly it's bullshit, but with Fightful Select and other credible sources reporting on it, I'm going to lean that it's not bullshit. And again, maybe MVP is the problem. Maybe he's just not satisfied, and everything is an issue with him.
Maybe Bobby needs to realize that he's not a spring chicken. He's not a novelty anymore.
Right.
And maybe he's just fine where he's at.
Well, but here's the thing. From what I gather, Bobby Lashley, no one has quoted Bobby Lashley that he said anything. It's all MVP.
Right.
So who knows? Bobby Lashley maybe don't do it. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, we're successful. We're on TV every single week.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? So don't know.
Speaking of which, when's the last time they defended them titles?
I think it was the last pay-per-view.
I think you're right. That was 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, something like that. Yeah.
The Forbidden Door is going to be coming out. Oh, that comes out early September, doesn't it?
No, August 24th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. All right.
So a couple of weeks.
All right. So let's see. Oh, then we go to MVP and the Hurt Syndicate being interviewed by Renee. MGF comes in. Bobby and Shelton leave. Essentially, MGF gets politely kicked out of the Hurt Syndicate. And MVP says, "We're going to do you a solid, and we're going to leave you in one piece, so you can continue on your quest for your Triple B."
Right.
He says, "I hope you fail, because if you don't, Bobby's going to be coming after you, and it's not going to be professional. It's going to be personal."
Right. Well, what happened was MJF looked at MVP and said, I get it. It's business. It's nothing personal. And the MVP said, well, if you end up getting that belt, it's going to be personal because Bobby Lashley's coming after you, and he's basically going to kick the shit out of you. So, look, I'll be honest. This interview leads me to believe that MJF is going to take that title from
Page.
Because they've been building this battle between MJF and Bobby Lashley. So that's the direction I think that they're going to go. This is why, and I hope I'm wrong, because I hate when shit's predictable. This is why when they do certain interviews, to me, it's like, you're giving it away. So I hope that's not the direction that they went to, and they basically just gave it away in this interview, but that's what I foresee happening.
Yeah, I really hope they drag it on for like another month. I want to see Page get one pay-per-view under his belt and then lose the title, I guess. I don't want to see Page lose the title this quick.
No.
But yeah, I kind of look forward to an MJF versus Bobby Lashley because they're two contradictory styles.
Right. This is the thing though with Adam Page having a belt. The last time, because he didn't carry when he carried the title, it wasn't considered a successful run just because people was booing him.
It was lackluster.
Well, I thought maybe that creative would have learned from that. And it seems like maybe they're not, because Hangman started getting people behind him basically because of this anti-hero character he portrayed. Right. Well, and I know we'll eventually get there, but we're talking about right now. Last night, during Mark Briscoe's promo that he was cutting, MJF walked out and basically said, you know what? I hope you win, shook his hand, and was this nice guy, right?
Page, not MJF. Page came in.
Page out, yeah. That is not what why the fans started getting behind Page. It's because, again, he was this anti-hero that didn't care. He was just crazy and kicking this shit out of everybody.
He was unpredictable.
Right. And now look what they have him doing.
Right.
Why? Why not leave his character alone?
Yeah, he was walking that stone cold, anti-hero line.
Right.
pretty hard, where
Right.
he didn't give a fuck who was in his way. He was going to take him out.
Right.
And yeah, now he's kind of tamed down. All right, so let's see. Next, we go to FTR responding to Edge. Um, they accept Edge's match. Um,
Did you see Stokely's face when they
yeah,
accepted it?
yeah. His eyes got kind of wide. I was surprised he didn't play the on black card.
Right.
Yeah. I'm short, I'm bald, I'm old, blah, blah, blah. And I was just, I've been picked on before. And I'm like, what? You're not going to say because you're black? You know? So I props for them for not going there, to be honest.
Right.
But Stokely's going to give him a fight next week.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I imagine this has to be quick. This is going to be something quick that's going to happen. And again, FTR is going to interfere. And you're right. If they interfere, this is going to cancel this whole you can't touch me thing they have, leaving Edge to start kicking the shit out of each of them, at some point.
Yeah. And it might open the door for Christian to help Edge, too.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely is going to.
And Edge touched on the whole Christian thing for about 5 seconds and then went on to the Stokely thing.
Right.
All right, so next we go to a Swerve and Okada's vignette. Then we go to a Swerve and interview. Swerve's ready for this match, and to be honest, I see Swerve taking this match.
I do too. I do. And I'm actually looking forward to this match. I think this is going to be a really good match.
I not a huge fan of Swerve, but he's great in the ring, and you can't help but like him. He's got that anti-hero thing about him too.
Right.
You know, he's one of them guys that despite he's only like 220 or whatever, he walks the walk and he talks the talk. He's unpredictable. You don't know what he's going to do. You don't know what he's going to say. So yeah, I mean, it's hard not to like him, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been a Swerve fan since he came on the scene. I've always liked Swerve. There was just something about him, and I'm glad that he's been getting these pushes.
Well, I think he's one of the rare cases where going to AEW actually was better for his career than WWE.
Yeah, you know what though, and I agree. And at the same time, I think what a loss for WWE for letting Swerve go.
Yeah, no, I think it was the dumbest thing they could have done. But you know what? I think ultimately Swerve came out ahead on this one because I think he would have got caught in mid card mania. As far as WWE is concerned.
Yep.
All right, so next we go to the Mark Briscoe interview, which we've already touched upon. Page comes out, says, "Hey, good luck. I hope you win. Whatever." Interesting fact: they said Mark's won 4 main events, and I didn't realize Mark had been in 4 main events. To be honest, so if he wins this one, could he be considered for a title shot? Page said, yeah, I'd take that.
Yep. Tell me if you can hear what I'm about to play. Let me know if you hear it or not. This is basically that promo I'm talking about, and tell me if Page tell me if you disagree that he's right back to where he was whenever the fans started booing him. Here we go.
All I heard was like a sound effect, and that was it.
All right. Now I was playing the clip. I was hoping you guys would be able to hear it. I didn't like download the video or nothing like that. But yeah, I mean Paige is right back to being
the nice guy.
The nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next we go to Amanada's interview. And if I was sure, I'd be kind of pissed at how this went. Because Willow walked in, and how they're going to clean house, blah, blah. And then Chris Stanlander walks in, and Amanada spoke for maybe 5 seconds. Willow said, we come here to do this, this, this. Until you're on board with that, don't talk to me. And Chris Stanlander looked like she was going to attack her and ended up throwing confetti on her.
Right.
Which I didn't expect, but I thought it was mildly amusing.
Yeah, I really like the Queen. I would really like to see her with a belt
Yep.
around her waist because Jesus Christ, she can go in the ring, man. She is so damn good.
Oh, she's improved so much over the last year and a half. You know, I mean, when she first came out, I'm like, wow, this girl's interesting.
Yep.
And of course, she was a jobber for like the first year, and it wasn't until like the last 6 months that they got her on a winning streak.
Yep.
You speaking of that, where's Harley Cameron? She's still out with a broken nose.
Something like that. She hasn't been on TV for a minute.
Yeah.
So,
Neither has who was her partner?
oh, yeah, her.
I want to say AJ, but it's not AJ.
No, it's stop bringing this shit up when you don't
Anna
know.
J. Anna J.
Anna J. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. All right. So next we end up with Briscoe versus MGF. This was actually a decent match.
Yep.
It looked like MGF was more on his back than anything else, to be honest.
Right. And I actually like this win because it didn't make so it gave MJF the win, but it didn't make Mark Briscoe look weak either because technically MJF should have gotten the win because Mark Briscoe's foot was on the rope. Referee just didn't see it. I am okay with this. I think that this is going to hopefully leave that door open for another feud between MJF and Briscoe to continue. And if MJF does indeed beat Hangman Adam Page at the Forbidden Door, I think is when they're going to fight. Once he gets done with the feud between him and Bobby Lashley, or even before he gets into the feud between Bobby Lashley and himself, I'd like to see Mark Briscoe and him finish this feud up, possibly with the belt being on the line.
Yeah. No, I agree. You know, I it's a toss up to me. It should be a better match, and we've already seen Briscoe versus MGF, but not for a belt.
Right. Now, look, don't get me wrong. They're not putting the belt on Briscoe. We know that that's not going to happen. But nonetheless, it would still, at least to see the guy be able to go after the belt.
Now, come on, hold on. To be fair, who would have thought Jey Uso would have won the Royal Rumble? And who in the hell would have thought Jey Uso would beat Gunther at WrestleMania?
Yeah, but you know what? That's WWE, not AEW.
Good point. But nonetheless, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I just don't foresee that happening. But yeah, guys, that was the recap of AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite. Collision is going to be here Saturday. Have you been watching Collision?
I have.
Yeah, Collision.
Actually, I think it's actually improved quite a bit.
It has. It's been almost there. Shit, there's been some collisions that are better than Dynamite, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if you go back 8 months.
No, dude, just 3 weeks ago, Collision was better than Dynamite. Dynamite's not inconsistent. I mean, last night was a damn good show. Matter of fact, I'll give Dynamite a B for their show last night. Actually, I'll give them a B plus.
Yeah, I'll give them a solid B plus. Just because I felt it just rolled smooth.
You did.
It didn't seem choppy. It didn't seem, and they're addressing storylines.
Yep. I didn't look at my watch one time last night while watching it. I mean, it just seemed like it went, very smoothly.
Yeah. A good show for me feels like it's an hour and a half versus 2 hours.
Yeah.
And that's with AEW or WWE.
Yep. I agree. But like I said, that was the review of AEW Dynamite, man. Join us again on
Saturday.
Yes, Saturday. Yep, Saturday for the recap of Friday Night SmackDown. This is gonna be the show that I've been interested to see after SummerSlam. See if Brock Lesnar is going to be there. See what John Cena has to say. This show should be fairly. People were expecting Raw to be really good, and I kind of figured it would be a ho hum type of an episode, just because it seems like the big stuff happened on the side of things. On SmackDown side of things with SummerSlam. Yeah, I know we got the Seth Rollins winning the belt, but to me, Brock Lesnar coming back is much bigger than Seth Rollins cashing in that briefcase. Do you agree?
Yeah. I hear Brock Lesnar's got carte blanche to do whatever he wants to do.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. We'll see what's going to happen. Guys, hit that subscribe button. And until Saturday, you guys have a good rest of your week. Mark, what do you got to say?
Get your bell rung.
Get your bell rung, everybody.